know. You know, the stars aligned for it to be
It just feels
this
right.
year. It just feels right, and I'm looking forward to kind of represent where I'm from, and you know, the fans who know who I am already, let them see like another side of Prince Royce, and then the people who don't know who I am, get them to kind of find out a little bit more about me and where I'm from and what I'm trying to do.
How are, I guess, the family and the friends taking the transition?
Everybody's cool. You know, for example, I keep telling this story, but a cousin of mine has a girlfriend who she's Latin, but she doesn't really follow Latin music. She's more into pop and English music.
She's Americanized.
And she's like Americanized, and she's never really been like, you know, into my music, really. I would always say, you know, Prince Royce, whatever, but I'll never ask for a picture, nothing. All of a sudden, I'm like releasing English music, and she's like, "Oh, can you sign this for my cousin?"
Whatever. Back then, they didn't want me.
You're gonna be on that show. That's my favorite show. And I keep telling my cousin, "Oh, now after 4 years, now she know who I am. I've been hanging out. She never cared. Now she know who I am."
Now she want to be all up in your
I think
face.
my family's taking it cool. It's exciting to do something different, and for me, it's just kind of trying to continue to grow as a
singer,
artist,
period.
as a singer,
Right.
as a songwriter. So it should be fun. I represent where I'm from, also. You know, I feel just as American as I feel Latin. You know,
Right.
so it's kind of like a double life, if that makes sense.
Oh,
I'm
a little
thinking
bit.
Spanish,
Yeah.
English.
Right, yeah. Double life, I was thinking something totally different.
No, I'm English, Spanish, to be clear.
Who are you working on the album?
Gonna be a lot of great collaborations with some American rappers, also Latin singers. It's a cool fusion. I think it's an album. I'm very proud of this album, and I'm very proud to see that it has a little bit of everything. I think it hasn't been done in a long time. You know, when I think about successful crossover artists, I think about like Ricky Martin and Shakira and what they did, and
Right.
I wouldn't say I'm copying what they did, but I think I'm kind of following their footsteps. I think those people kind of opened the door for me to do something like the new generation.
Absolutely.
Crossover. So let's see what happens. I'm no expectations on this side. I'm just trying to do me and have fun and see what happens.
Well, the single is huge. We got like a huge, response to the contest when people found out that you were here. So I'm like, I feel like it's going to be a big deal.
Hopefully. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself.
Oh, that was
I think that, especially since there's only been a handful of Latin singers that have done the crossover to mainstream pop. I think like, my community kind of like, oh, what if he fails? And I do feel some sort of pressure a little bit, with like responsibility with my community and representing where I'm from, and showing people that it doesn't matter what language you speak, it doesn't matter where you're from, that you could be successful in pop. I don't see why people have this fear of like, will the Latin guy cross over to mainstream America? And I'm trying not to get.
I don't necessarily think it's the person. I feel like it's the pressure that people are putting on the person.
That's what it is, and it's the pressure that they know that it's been difficult for other Latin artists to do it. So I'm just taking it easy, having fun. It feels very natural to me until this point. I feel very comfortable.
So you just did the Miss Universe?
Miss Universe.
How was that?
It was cool. It was a different experience. I think being surrounded by so many women. I mean, they're like 7 feet tall.
Full of silicone.
It was cool. It was cool. It was a cool experience. I think it was cool to see, well, not just gorgeous women, but it was also cool to see so many different cultures and so many different places and kind of people from around the world getting together for one cause. And all these girls have dreams. I think sometimes we forget that it's we sometimes get caught up with all the girls and the swimsuit competition, but it's also girls that have dreams, So for me, being a part of that cause, I'm a big believer in supporting the youth and supporting people's goals and
Absolutely.
And motivating them. So I think it was a great experience for me.
You know what's funny? Like, to watch them answer those questions, like, what would you do in a perfect world? You know what I'm saying? Like, the pageant questions.
Right?
Yeah, you answer that. What would you do in a perfect... what would your perfect world look like?
I think we don't live in a perfect world, therefore I cannot answer that question.
Nice, realistic answer.
But it's true, like, some of these questions are kind of like, we don't live in a perfect world. How are we supposed to know what's happening? Like,
how would you save the children? Well, they ain't mine. I'm not going to say that. Not going to say that. But I seriously think about that. I don't care about them kids. No. I get it.
It is difficult, though. I mean,
Who calls you up to because I wanted to book you at the strip club around the corner to sing. So like, who books you to?
Yeah, call my agent. You know, connect with my manager. That'd be cool.
Okay. Do I get a percentage of it?
Yeah, I give you 2%.
Come on, son. How you trying to?
I'll get your free lap dance from one of
trying to jack me on my paper.
I don't think.
Let's try it. So I guess has anyone reached out to you? I guess someone who excites you to work with you.
There's been a few. Yeah. I don't want to say though. You know.
You don't want to drop names.
I don't want to drop. I'm not like a name dropper type of guy. I like to kind of leave.
Here.
I kind of leave some surprise. I like to leave surprises. You know. I think this album's gonna be great, and I think I'm not a name dropper type of guy. I don't know.
So what is the one?
Well, I met Jay-Z like 2 years ago. I sang at the Made in America Festival when he first